We're here with Marc Lesser, CEO and co-founder of Search Inside Yourself Leadership Institute, SILI, which grew out of Google. Marc, tell us a little bit about what's up with SILI nowadays.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time at SILI. And just a little bit of background, Jim. SILI, right, Search Inside Yourself Leadership Institute. And there's something even about our name, that our acronym is SILI, in that we pride ourselves in bringing a sense of playfulness and lightheartedness into the world of mindfulness. And at the same time, I like to say that we are seriously silly, that we also like to bring a sense of depth. A lot of what we do is based on a program. The Search Inside Yourself program was initially developed inside of Google, starting in 2007, and over a few years of development became one of the most sought after and popular programs within Google. And then in 2012, we created the Search Inside Yourself Leadership Institute as a nonprofit organization to bring this work into the world outside of Google. So this work, the Search Inside Yourself program, I like to think of it as a program that integrates mindfulness, emotional intelligence, leadership, and science. Sometimes we lead with the mindfulness, sometimes we lead with emotional intelligence, sometimes we lead with leadership. But it's really an integration of all of those disciplines. And science is a really important part of it. And we have three core activities these days at SILI. One is we bring work into organizations like Google, like SAP and others. Two, we do a variety of public programs that are available to anyone to take. And three, we have an intensive program that we call SILI Engage, which is a 5-month program. It's a certification program for people that want to be influencers and change agents, to bring these tools of mindfulness and emotional intelligence into whatever they happen to be doing. They might be doctors or lawyers or teachers or running organizations.
So we're now in the early stages of 2016. Tell us what's emerging for SILI in the new year.
Yeah, the very exciting stuff. One is we are about to announce this new program that I mentioned called SILI Engage, and it's our advanced program. This kind of sits on how much we learned from doing a teacher training program these last couple of years. We now have 100 certified teachers out in the world who we really want to fully support and work with. And the program itself was so powerful in building community and giving people the tools and abilities to bring mindfulness and emotional intelligence skills and competencies into their lives and into their world. We're about to announce that program very soon, and it will meet for 5 days at the beginning of the session, and then about 5 months later, it will meet for an additional five-day period. Public programs, you can look on our website and see the schedule of programs in which we're offering them globally. There'll be programs, many throughout cities in the United States, 11 in Europe this year, I think 6 or 7 in Asia. We're doing programs in Australia. And these are a 2-day program with a 4-week kind of practice period. So it's a 2-day intensive mindfulness emotional intelligence program, and then there's 4 weeks of self-directed practice. We also are about to launch the SILI app, which we're very excited about, which we're doing in partnership with Will. And in our business that we call Direct, we're doing a lot of work with Google, with SAP. I'm very excited about the work we just started doing with the United Nations, helping them with their World Food Program in Africa and in other parts of the world.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Can you suggest what you would have Mindful do to help support your work in 2016?
I'd like to see Mindful keep doing what it does so well. In a way, I feel Mindful to be a close kind of partner with Philly, partner philosophically, and in this very important aspiration to answer the question: how do we keep the depth and the roots of mindfulness practice? That it's a practice that uh, goes far beyond, though it may include things like stress relief and well-being, that ultimately mindfulness is more of a practice of freedom, of kind of a radical freedom, working with issues of what does it mean to be a human being? How do we work with life and death? And at the same time, uh, Mindful Magazine can continue to bring the very practical and storytelling part of kind of how do you integrate these life-changing, important questions with one's day-to-day life, which brings these practices alive and makes them extremely accessible at the same time. So I really appreciate the work, Jim, that you and Mindful Magazine are doing.
Thanks so much, Marc.
You're welcome.